If you could change any choice you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of the Inspired Choices Show, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
Yeah, that's me. Welcome, everyone. We have another episode tonight. I'm very much looking forward to sharing my thoughts and my knowing all about this subject, because you know what? Every single solitary person and every single entrepreneur for sure, and we got a lot of them in the house tonight, every single one of you deserves to be successful and to stop resisting business success. So that's our topic tonight. Before we jump in, I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am. I am a business optimization coach. And so what that means is I work with individuals and entrepreneurs and businesses of all sizes, showing them where the gap is in their business, where the opportunities missed are in their business, showing them where they need to be streamlining, creating certain systems, where they absolutely can be growing, where they can actually be making more time for themselves with fabulous systems, and then where they can become even more visible and get their message out to the world. That is something that I love to do. I've been doing it for probably about 15 years now, really showing people what I see in them and what is possible. So if you're an entrepreneur that's looking to grow your business, feeling like you're maybe all over the place, you don't know how to get traction and really get focused in and really start to make the most of what you know is your area of expertise, do contact me. My email is christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Just reach out. Let's have a conversation. Let's change this lack that you have in your life and maybe even some frustration that you have with your business, because it's not necessary for you to experience that. How cool would that be to not experience frustration and lack in your business? So let's jump into tonight's show. Let's really get started. We've got a lot of people in the house. We are now streaming on our TV platform, inspiredchoicesnetwork.tv. We are streaming on Facebook and we're streaming on YouTube. It's so fantastic to be able to be visible and connect with more and more people. And we do that all through the Inspired Choices Network. So wherever you are listening, wherever you're watching, maybe you're not watching live, maybe you're listening or watching in the replay, I would love for you to put hashtag replay or hashtag live. I'd love to know what you're thinking and what your questions are. I really enjoy interacting with the listeners and the viewers and really understanding where they're at and how I can support them to move forward. So do interact. I love to read the messages. Okay, so let's get into tonight's show. How to stop resisting business success. Who would ever resist business success? Seems like a silly question, right? Well, although it's crazy to imagine, this is a real issue for entrepreneurs and business owners across all industries. It's not just you, and it's not just you that's actually hiding that you're resisting business success. Once you begin to understand that the level of success that you desire, in fact, is available to you, it's time to start asking the question, what is in my way? Have you asked that question? What is in my way? Each entrepreneur will have their own story of what challenges them. And we all do. And that's a good thing. We can learn from and really launch off of our stories. But those issues typically fall into the same category, and they are not insurmountable. So tonight, I really want to invite you to interact, to talk with me. Let me know where you're at so we can start to really change this. And, you know, there's no real surprise that the biggest reason that every single solitary entrepreneur experiences this at some time in their career and sometime in their business or are currently experiencing it, it's because we all have some fundamental things that we are dealing with. First and foremost, We resist business success because we are stuck in our ways. We've been operating, whether we've been operating for 6 months or 16 years, we've been operating the way that we're operating. Human beings are comfortable doing the same and the same and the same. And if you're someone that's afraid that you're going to mess up, or you have any level of fear that your business is not going to succeed, you're going to actually contract your energy and start to focus in. And when you contract your energy and focus in, there is an element of fear and worry that's attached to all of this. So then what you do, we all do, is when we have this going on, then we start to try really hard to get things right. We try really, really hard to do it the right way and the right way. But the overarching energy of what's going on for you is the fear and the worry and the thoughts somewhere along the line of, I'm screwing this up. I'm not getting this right. Most entrepreneurs have been at this place for some time. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you know you're good enough to be successful? Do you know you're good enough to be successful? I would love to see the responses in the chat room. The thing, okay, one person says, yes, I do know this. Excellent. Most individuals do not know that they are good enough to be successful. And the reason for this is because they haven't yet been extremely successful around what they dream success looks like. So when we have not yet experienced that, our brain is saying to us, you haven't done that yet. You're not successful enough yet. And when we start out doing our businesses and we are trying and trying and trying to learn what we need to do and to learn to put the systems in place and to learn to communicate with our prospective clients, and we have not succeeded, what we start to do is we start to play in our mind, it's not enough yet. I'm not good enough yet. We're playing that consciously and subconsciously in our minds. Now, you may feel like you are good enough to be successful, but I want you to ask yourself the question, what percentage do I feel I am good enough to be successful? And just check on the energy of that. If there is even 1% less than 100, then there is a part of you that's still buying into that old mentality and those old thoughts. And that's okay. One of the greatest things that every entrepreneur needs to be doing is paying attention to their thoughts, being very, very present with their thoughts on what is running in the background in their mind, because that tells a huge story. You, my friend, you are the biggest thing that's in the way of you being successful. And that is on a lot of different scales, on a lot of different levels, but you are the biggest thing that's in the way. I have been the biggest thing that's in the way of my business success. I have so many stories that I could share with you of what was actually holding me and my success back. And, I'll be sharing some of those with you tonight. But I really want you to ask these questions, because these questions, as you tap into asking yourself these questions and communicating with your business and asking your business these questions, you're going to start to get more and more information. This is something that I've talked about many, many times, is actually learning to communicate with your business and being willing to listen, being willing to hear the response without a judgment, without a worry of what that means, right? I don't care if you're a client of mine and you tell me, what, I feel like I'm only 30% good enough. Okay, cool. Let's look at what that 70% is. And if we were to move that 30% to 40%, that's a 10% increase. You would have just given yourself a 10% raise. Would that be something that would contribute beautifully to you? What you want to do is you really want to be an examiner You want to be an examiner of your thoughts. You want to be an examiner of the different messages that are playing out and really look at your own behavior, look at your own interaction when things like this are being discussed, when ideas and questions are being brought forward, because that's where the gold is, my friend. That's where the information is that's going to really shine a light into the area where your business and your whole being and body would like you to pay attention. So let me ask you another question. Do you ask for what you desire? Do you ask for what you desire? Do you ask for what you desire? And when I mean ask, I am talking about really asking your whole body, your whole being, your business, the universe, the divine. Are you asking? So I want you to imagine that you have these desires and they're just hovering underneath the surface. But what's louder to you every day is you're paying attention to what you're not successful at. You're paying attention to those old messages, maybe in the back of your head. Maybe some days they get louder and louder and you get discouraged, right? Those desires every time, and this is not to criticize you in any way. I want to inspire and inform, not to criticize you. But every time we're into that worry and fear, those desires kind of get lowered again and again, and they kind of get pushed back a little bit. Your prevailing energy is the energy that the universe is responding to. We've heard it before. And some of you might want to tell me to go pound salt because you're sick of hearing it. And I get that 100%. But the fact of the matter is that the energy that you are in and the thoughts that you allow to keep on repeat, they are the things that you are sending out to the universe. So I want you to imagine that you are sending out a telegram. What is on that telegram to the universe? What is on that telegram? Is it, I'm not quite good enough and I'm in fear? Or is what is on that telegram is, I desire to double my income. I desire to be known as an expert in my field. And are you looking at that every day? Are you looking at those desires? I'm going to guess likely not. Most of us are not looking at our desires every day. And you know why? Because when we initially ask and they don't show up like boom, like Bewitched is right here just making it happen for us, then we start to get defeated. And we believe that because it hasn't happened yet, it's likely not going to happen. Or I'm never going to be that person that I see that's successful at what I want to do. So it's probably not going to happen to me, but that's okay. That's okay. This is good enough. No, nothing is good enough. You, my friend, you came here to succeed. You came here to create. If you're an entrepreneur, you are a creator. You came here to create, and you came here to create joy in your life. You came here to experience everything there is to experience on planet Earth. And one of those big experiences is success in all areas of your life, including your business. A huge part of your success, or the success you have not yet obtained, has to do with your thoughts and what's going through your mind and the actions that you are taking each and every day to be successful, to continue to create a successful business. That's part of the biggest thing that is really keeping you stuck in your ways. Now, we are going to go off to the break. When we come back from the break, I've got some more areas that I want you to look in. I want you to really dig deep into and expose so that we can move you faster and faster to success and let go of resisting. You don't need to resist the success. You've asked, it's being delivered to you, but you've got to open up your hands to receive and know that you deserve to receive this success. All right, stick around, my friends. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be back right after this break.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, my friends, you have landed on the Inspired Choices show today. We're talking about how to resist, how to stop resisting being successful in your business success. How many of you want business success? I mean, really want it to the place that you're going to do whatever it takes to be successful. How many? Put your hands up. I would love to see that. I want you to know something, that you don't have to sacrifice your values or your morals or the time that you work on your business. You don't have to sacrifice any of that to be successful, but you've got to be willing to do what it takes to be successful. And the biggest part is you. Okay, we have somebody in here saying in the chat room says, I seem to already know how to resist. Okay, excellent. Now you know that. Fantastic. Someone else says, I cannot say yes as I resist doing whatever it takes. I see this all in me all the time. These are the things that are so important. I love that everyone is starting to really be truthful with themselves, and you don't need to do it publicly, but honestly being vulnerable and looking at and being willing to own up to what you know. Now, what you know about yourself is probably about 10% of what you don't know that's hidden in the crevices of your mind that you've bought into, that you keep buying into, that you're not even aware. Because being aware of the thoughts that are in your mind and the things that you're resisting, that takes conscious effort. That takes examination every single day. And it might sound like it's super difficult to do. It's not difficult to do. But in the beginning, like any kind of program, it takes you learning a new skill set. It takes you willing to do the work to really get to that space of uncovering. And uncovering you can do. So let me ask you this question. Are you confident in your knowledge of what you do in business? Are you confident? If someone is to come to you, or even think about clients you have had, and whatever it is that you are doing, when you are doing your body of work, are you confident in what you can deliver? Are you praying to God, like you say, I can do something, and under the table, you've got your fingers crossed, like hoping to God that you can do it, or hoping to goodness they're not going to find out that you're like very, very junior at something? If you're not confident in what you are doing at this stage in your business, it's time to look at how you can become more confident. That is, I could talk to you about that for a long, long time, but that is a really big piece of this. Your level of confidence speaks to your level of expertise. And I'm not talking about arrogant confidence. I am talking about solid knowing I am confident. When someone comes to me and they want to, let's say, have a show here on Inspired Choices Network. I'm the CEO of Inspired Choices Network. When they say they want to have a show and they don't know how to, they don't know what they would need to do. They don't know, what they should call their show. They don't know how to maybe do any kind of promotion. All the pieces that go into creating you being visible on media, radio, TV, I am 100% confident that when I work one-on-one with you, that I can get to the space of what is desiring to come through you onto the airwaves. And I am very confident that I can support you as you grow into your confidence in doing this. I am 100% confident. Now, I have a number of hosts that are joining right now in the chat room, and I want them to just give me a little bit of feedback. If I had been any less confident that I am that I could support you, how confident would you be in moving forward and knowing that you were going to be taken care of? How confident would you have been? If you are purchasing something from someone, if you are working with someone and they're not confident in what they're doing, you as the purchaser are not going to want to work with them. You're not. And I'm not talking about you saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm pretty good at what I do. Yeah, I'm good at it. I'm talking about you internally believing in yourself and having that confidence. Okay, I'm going to read some of the comments. One of the hosts said, true, I would not confident at all. Okay. She goes on to say, you have to feel the person you are talking to is confident. It's true. Think about your car. If you were taking your car in to get your brakes repaired, that you carry yourself and your family in, and you were doing this, and this mechanic had poor reviews, and then you talk to this mechanic to find out, like, were these reviews real, or did you have an issue, or you just really wanted to get to know this person and sense their level of expertise. So it's not that you're contacting them to see their confidence, you're contacting them to understand their level of expertise. We sense whether someone is confident or not, but you connect with this mechanic and you're not getting that from them. You're not getting confidence. You're not sensing that they know what you're doing. You're not taking your vehicle there, because this is your life. And this is other people on the road's lives that potentially your car could, hurt. It's people that you're carrying in your vehicle, animals, loved ones that you're carrying in your vehicle. There's no way you're going with a mechanic who is not an expert in their field and is not confident. How did he become confident? How did she become confident? By doing the work, by learning their craft, by continuously growing their knowledge base. A mechanic today is very different than a mechanic years ago, because everything is so electronic, right? And so are the systems electronic. So is business today. Business today, especially, I've been in business now for 15 years. The way that we do business today is very different, marked difference since we did it 15 years ago. And it's incredibly different since we did it 20 years ago, 50 years ago. Guess what? It's going to be different tomorrow. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to exhaust yourself, but it means that you have got to be determined to get the knowledge that you require so that you can be doing business in a confident way. So your level of confidence, and I would love you to just sit down and write some things out about what your level of confidence is. Okay, Karen says, your confidence in you and what you do was key in me choosing ICN and you. I love that. I love that. But here's the thing, guys. I want you to get to this place where me saying I'm confident And you saying you believed in my confidence, there's no difference in like, I don't go into blushing. I don't go into, oh my God, they love me. They really, really love me. I don't go into that energy because of my level of confidence. If a client says to me, I'm not confident in what you're doing, I want to know why. Where's the gap? What am I missing? What am I not seeing? And because I know that what we have, what we deliver, what I deliver as a business optimization coach and as the CEO of Inspired Choices Network, I have the confidence in being able to do what I say we can do. But if there's a gap, I want to know about it because I want to grow myself. I'm not afraid to learn where I need to grow. Now, let me ask you, are you afraid to learn where people believe that there is a gap? Just feel how that hit your body. Does that scare you to learn what people think of you? Does it scare you for people to be straight up and honest with you? And it's okay if it scares you. Again, that starts to teach you something. But this is the thing that when you would start to educate yourself more and more, and you start to really examine what's going on with you, that's where you're going to start to move through that lack of confidence. That's where you're going to start to lean into the messages that you're playing with in your mind. And this is where you begin to stop resisting success. And it's so, so important. Now, I say this all of the time, but please remember that your business came to you so it could come through you. You have the ability, you have the knowledge. What you're missing is the self-confidence and the belief in yourself. And there are some actions that you're missing as well. If there's any kind of resistance going on, there is actions that you're missing as well. Do you surround yourself with people smarter than you? Or are you the smartest person in the room? It can be really annoying to always feel like you got to learn more and learn more and learn more. But when you understand that that is actually fuel for your success, where you're learning from other people, that's the fuel for your success, you welcome it. You are looking for it. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go out and have a course that you're taking every time you turn around. You can be reading a book. You can listen to a podcast. You could be listening to an audio. You could be reading an article. There's ways to grow your knowledge base without taking up, an entire week of your time. But honestly, if you are not continuing to feed yourself knowledge and you're always in the room with people that are perhaps not at your level of expertise, then you're not going to grow. So that's a really important thing to check yourself on. Am I the smartest person in the room all the time? And maybe that if you are, maybe it's because there's a level of you that feels very insecure that you're not going to be the smartest person in the room. I can tell you that one of the things that I started to do many, many years ago is when someone said a word that I didn't understand the definition to the word, I would initially cower and I would try to figure out what it was. And I would just pretend that I knew what it was. And then at one point I just went, what difference does it make? So now I ask, it doesn't matter who it is. I'll stop them. I'll say, can you tell me what that word means? I don't know what that word means. And when I do that, I empower myself. I allow myself to be vulnerable. I allow myself to grow. Pardon me. Hold on. Apologize for that. I allow myself to grow, and I allow that person to share with me. That doesn't take me down a notch. And that doesn't put them up a notch. That allows them to contribute to me so that I can grow. And when you're willing to be vulnerable and say, I don't know this, could you support me in understanding this, in learning this? That is where you start to let go of resisting success. Your thoughts about yourself and your judgments about yourself, no matter where you are in your business, that's the biggest thing that's stopping you from really having business success. Holy moly. We are up to our next break of the show. And before we go, I just want to ask you this one question. And I want you to ponder this during break. Are you vulnerable enough to look at your secrets? Are you vulnerable enough to look at your secrets and to share those secrets with at least your business coach? I don't know anyone that doesn't have that has a business coach that wouldn't agree with me in saying they would be farther along in their business and their business success if they'd hired a business coach sooner. And I 100% agree. I have 3 coaches that I work with, and I work with them because I don't know everything, and I want to be challenged. I want to be inspired. I want to learn, and I want to grow. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to be successful in my business. And I am being successful in my business. And that shows me, again, back to me, that, you know what, I've made these positive decisions that are contributing to me. They're not only nurturing my bank account, they're nurturing my business and my self-care. When you hire a business coach, that's a way to take care of you. So, I've said this before, the biggest place you're going to grow is when you're in your own business. You don't know who you're going to be until you're in your own business. And you really don't know all of these places where you're criticizing yourself and judging yourself until you're in your own business. It's really amazing because there's no HR standing there saying you shouldn't talk to her like that. You are your own critic in your own business. And this is the space where you get to grow and you can do it. And you can be successful. So we're going to head off to our break, my friends. Stick around. When we get back, we're going to dive in even deeper. So you're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm Christine McIver here on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Before we jump back into the show, and tonight we're talking about how to stop resisting business success. But before we jump back in, I want to tell you about a program that I have, and it's a strategic business package. It is me working one-on-one with you and creating exactly what it is that you require to close those gaps, to really move you forward in your business, and to strategize around what you would like to have a year from now. And we create all of the places that you want to grow in and the action steps on what you need to take each and every week for the next year. And that strategy package is normally $2,500 and it's on for $1,750. And I would love to, if this is something that sparks, let's have a conversation. Let's see what could possibly be available to you, and how the next year could really change things for you in your business. That would light me up. I friggin' love doing that with people, with entrepreneurs, and I love to see them grow. So do reach out to me, Christine, at inspiredchoices.ca. All right, let's get back into tonight's show. So we're talking about how to stop resisting business success. So one of the things that I've noticed over the years, we have a lot more people with feminine energy, females and men with the feminine energy that are getting into their own business. That's fantastic. We have a lot more people that are, their focus is more in the spiritual realm, that are getting into their own businesses as well. That's fantastic. I talk about lots of things spiritual as well in my business. But what I have found is a lot of people that have, sorry, somebody just sent me a private message, is making me laugh. What I have found is a lot of people that have the spiritual part of their business, they oftentimes are doing more spiritual and less business action, that they've got an imbalance in what they are focusing on and what action that they need to take. And it's okay. But if you look at that and you just ask yourself that question, do I have an imbalance between my spiritual and my business action? And you get a yes, then this is good. Then it's time for you to start exploring what that is all about. There's actually a very known fact that a lot of people that are spiritual do not believe that they should be charging very much for their body of work. And I 100% disagree on that. I know a lot of people that are out here doing their business, doing a spiritual business. They're not charging a true value price for their body of work, and they cannot stay ahead of the rising costs of being in business or the rising costs of taking care of themselves and their family. It is so essential that people that are doing spiritual work, that they are also looking at true value and being willing to look at what is happening for them when they are looking at pricing, right? A lot of people, if you're nervous about talking about money, there's a gap. If you're nervous about talking about price, there's insecurity. You don't have that confidence. That's something that needs to be developed and looked at. Why? Why do I have that going on? What is it? If you've got an imbalance with the spiritual and the real business action, then you know that there's business action, there's business steps that you're not taking that you should be taking. And this brings me back to asking you, are you willing to do what it takes to do your business? Many people go into overwhelm when you start to, that's me. There is a big gap. Okay, cool. Many people go into overwhelm when they think about what's required today in business, doing a business online, having their business online and having the different systems in place. They go into overwhelm. How many of you are in overwhelm when it comes to thinking about putting systems in place? Raise your hand. It's okay if you're in overwhelm. Let's look at that. I can tell you that most people that I have ever worked with, when I start to tell them about the different systems that would really benefit them and absolutely 100% impact their time. It's like buying time. People are putting their hands up. It's like buying time when you have your systems in place. Most people are astonished by the simplicity and the ease that it creates in their lives. For instance, one of the systems is having a booking tool. And, lots of people love to write, and lots of people love the calendars that they have that they can write in their calendars. Well, I'm going to say things people may not like, but get over yourself. That's ridiculous. People are not calling you up on the phone and having a wee chat while you take out your calendar and you're looking for where you can fill it in your book. If you are still using that as your source of booking, people are hesitating contacting you because it's taking more time than they're used to. You're sending emails back and forth. Hey, could I have a session with you next week? Sure, absolutely. When would you like to? Well, I'm open on, like, can you see this? You'll have like 8 to 10 emails back and forth before you book it. And you have a booking link and they go in and they go, yeah, I'm available there. And so boom, it's booked. It's booked like that. And you, the woman in business who doesn't have enough time to get everything done, you didn't have to do anything to have that conversation for that person to book. That's one simple thing. And when you actually have an online booking tool, what happens is that person gets an email. And so they can actually put it into their online calendar. And then they get a reminder when, I don't know what the percentage is, but when people are booking online, the percentage of them not canceling or showing up and not forgetting magnificently increases because they're not writing it down and forgetting where they wrote it down. Okay, this is one system. Systems are put in place by people like me who understand how they can really assist you to streamline your business. I have a great many systems in my business, and I have a team that I've taught how to utilize them. I'm not the only one that knows how to utilize them because there's something that you can train other people to do. So as you grow your business, or you add someone into your business, or many people into your business, when you have the systems in place, then they're not making up their own way of doing your business. You're showing them how your business is done, how you've organized your business, and then they can easily learn it, and then they can duplicate your process. So the integrity of your business continues. But that's just one example of systems. Here's another question for you. Are you buying your past stories again and again? Or are you taking steps forward in your business? A lot of people will identify our brains when we start to think about making a change. Someone says, I love my daytimer. And I have an online booking tool as well. Thank you. I'm so glad that you do. A lot of people will be, when they think about doing something, their brain will automatically go to the experience they had that was similar to that. Your brain will just provide this automatically. They will automatically go to a time in the past where something was simple or similar rather. And oftentimes they will talk themselves out of it, because what do we remember more than good times? Bad times, times that we didn't feel great, times that we didn't feel confident. So our brain starts to show us these other systems, these other times rather, where things didn't go well. And our brains actually talk us out of it. You've got to pay attention to when you are doing that. Stop going into the past. And as someone reminded me today, every time we go into the past, we reconnect to it and we bring it forward. So how many times are you going into the past when you're thinking about expanding your business, when you're thinking about streamlining, when you're thinking about raising your prices? I'll tell you something. When I raised the prices here on the network, it was many, many years ago. And when I did, there was a lot of people that had the mindset of lack, and they left. The host left the platform. And I just started to go into a beyond about it. Oh my God, my business is going to collapse. Do you know what actually happened? This is so funny. What actually happened was, because of the price increase, when a number of people left, I had more time available to do other things in my business and grow my business. And because of the price increase, I ended up making more money than I did prior to the price increase, even with the number. There was probably about 25% of hosts left. I ended up being farther ahead financially and with time. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And when you are looking at this from the perspective of your business and you're looking at what your true value is and you stay out of the past, you're going to be surprised at the difference that you can actually bring to your business. Okay, we are up to another break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. I got so much more I want to share with you. I'm going to have to talk even faster. So you're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, my guys, we're going to jump right in. I got so much to talk to you about before the show is done. And one of the things that I want to really challenge you on is, are you buying your past story again and again, or taking the steps forward? We've referred to this already. This is such an important piece. And we've got a conversation going on in the chat room about tech stuff. And a lot of people are like, oh, my kids are the tech people, or can somebody else do it? Guess what, you guys? If you're not willing to learn, you don't have to be the ones doing it all the time. But if you're not willing to learn, there's a piece where you're resisting business success. Because today, in the society that we live in today and the way that we do business today, you must be tech savvy. You must understand the language and have at least a cursory idea of how something should operate. Because if you hire somebody to do your tech and you don't know what they're doing, whether it's right or wrong, they could be fleecing you for the money that you're paying them. This is not hard to learn. The tech is not hard to learn at all. There are companies out there that will support you, that will guide you. I love teaching people about tech. I think it's a playground. At least it is a very big playground for me. So, are you buying your own lies? That's another question I wanted to ask you. Are you buying your own lies that you're not good at tech? Do you keep saying that? What are you repeating again and again and again? Oh, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. Guys, stop implanting your brain every single day with lies. It's a lie. How about you change it to, I haven't learned how to be good with tech yet, but I'm willing. That starts to change the energy of it. All right. You got to pay attention to what you keep saying. And every time you're saying it, you just reinforce it again and again and again. How about starting to reinforce some things that are excellent for you? I am excellent at what I do. I'm an expert in my field. Now, the first few times I said that, I just about choked because there was a part of me that didn't believe it. But as I started to get vulnerable around what I was thinking about myself and feeling about myself, and I was working with my coach on that while we were working on the business, I started to uncover the lies that I kept buying into that were no longer true. I started to look at the facts. We suck at looking at the facts because we're not being vulnerable about the secrets that we've got inside of us. We don't want anybody to know about. Nothing's going to change if you keep those secrets deep inside of you. You've got to be willing to change that. What are you willing to do to be successful? Are you willing to change those stories? Are you willing to ask someone for guidance? Are you willing to hire a business coach so they can assist you? Are you willing to admit, hey, I'm not great over here, or I'm not great in this thing, or I'm freaking out about this, or I'm worrying about that? Are you willing to really look at what makes up you? All of the good, bad, ugly, and the great things about you. Do you understand that when you focus on the things that are great about you, they're going to grow? Well, guess what? Most of us entrepreneurs are focusing on the things we're not great at, and they're growing too. Stop resisting business success. Start to put things in place to support you to grow. Start to put in things that will make you shine, make you happy, make you giggle. People used to say to me, Christine, you should just focus on one thing. No, I know me. I love doing lots of different things. That's the way my creative juices are. If you know human design, I'm a generator. This is how I operate. And this is where I get my most joy, is in doing more and more and more. It lights me up, and I'm excellent at it. And the more I acknowledge that, the more that my business grows. And the more I grow, the more happily I grow. And that's so, so important, because a happy entrepreneur is a successful entrepreneur. But if you're not happy with what you're doing and you're not happy with the results, it's going to show. Do you buy the lie that I'm too shy? I'm too nervous. Why would anybody believe me? What do I know? Do you ever hear those things going through you? Do you ever say them out loud to people? Okay, instead of saying I'm too nervous, that stops you from doing something, why don't you say, you know what, I'm really nervous. How can I move through this? Ask the questions. Ask the questions. Are you challenging yourself, or are you just trying? I'm trying to do my best. Stop trying and do. Are you challenging yourself? Oh my gosh, I challenged myself today. I challenged myself here. There are so many days that I am doing a lot of different things. And there's sometimes that I would just like to, turn everything off and run away. But I'm like, no, I'm here for it. I'm here for my business success, and I'm doing what requires. That doesn't mean that I put my health at risk. It doesn't mean that I put my body at risk. It doesn't mean that I put my joy at risk. It means that I challenge myself every day to do just a little more, to learn just a little more, so I can continue to grow. It's so, so important that you understand that your desires are available to you. And the only thing in the way of your business success is you. The systems we can put the systems in place. The value of your products, we can get that, no problem. But without you really believing in yourself and examining your steps every single day, you're not going to get through there. Next week, my friends, we're going to be talking about, does your business need to be rescued? I wonder what we're going to talk about then. I've really enjoyed everyone being here. Thank you so much for joining us live. Thank you wherever you are listening, whether you're listening live or you're listening in the replay. I really appreciate you being here. I want to challenge you to send me an email. Let's have a conversation. Let's look at what's going on with you, and then let's look at what we can do to really support you to move forward and have more and more business success. It's so fantastic when we are growing ourselves and we're stepping out there with our business success, because you know something the world needs to know. You have knowledge and expertise people are looking for. But if you're shy and you're not believing in yourself, they're not going to hear you. They're not going to see you. They're not going to discover you. You need to be taking care of you and growing yourself so that your business can grow, your bank account can grow, and the world can grow from what you came here to share. My friends, it's It's a wonderful world, and there's so many opportunities available, and we just need to get out of our own way. So please do reach out. My email again is Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Let's work together. Let's change what's stopping you from having more and more success, and let's grow the world in a happy place. Remember, my friends, until next week, you can always make another choice. Take good care of yourself. Stop buying those lies. Stop going into the past, and be willing to do what it takes to grow you and your business. Bye for now.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.